Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
Okay, ready? Set, cut, set.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. This one completes Alec Pierce. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They try the left side here with Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Max Crosby, the one who got in there for the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Tua. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And now off to the races, down the right side. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
8 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Let's go now. Ready.
The first carry now. This is Hill. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Tua going to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the 1st by a few yards. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck. but it's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
I can remember a game here in Chicago a few years back. It was so blustery that Robbie Gould tried a field goal and just about kicked it out of bounds. Once that wind starts coming in off Lake Michigan, it can cause havoc in the kicking game.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Allen. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Ready?
Looking to pass. Tua. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. 2 yards on the pickup there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Tagovailoa are going to try and throw on 3rd down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. There comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
A big pickup of 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, Allen.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The Bears at 7-2 here on the year. And they were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that.
And last week, not only on the scoreboard, but I saw it on tape as well. Definitely not one of their final performances because they were outclassed pretty much right from the start. So I think there'll be a renewed emphasis on trying to be a little better out of the gate in this one so they don't fall into a big hole.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it, and the Lions are going to have it here at their own 15.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one. As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one, because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And that's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
This is fielded at the 27.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return.
And the Lions will take over.
Ready.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Last time I remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
114 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Off of play action. Tagovailoa under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Zach Ertz has it complete. Touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Lions have moved out in front.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is now 10-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Allen to throw it.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They have pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And it's intercepted in the end zone. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
We're talking about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half. To carry that with them, it's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mode.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead.
Ready.
A good gain on first. Has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. That's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, these are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
On play action, Allen. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now Allen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone would come free.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. He's airing it out for Williams. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and it almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad run.
On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Screen play set up for Williams. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Ready?
Hill going to try the right side. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Play action, now it's Tua. He'll buy some time right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off, because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To the air, Allen. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Under pressure, they got him again. Za'Darius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
No, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
130 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. They're going to snub this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That play doomed from the start thanks to the defensive effort of Grady Jarrett. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Ready?
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Bears.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score. But bottom line, they are still on top with the football. And a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. Rashawn Gary that time through the line and getting the tackle for loss. Now on 2nd and 13. Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Slings this deep for McLaurin.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Being chased out left. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Lions are going to get the football here at their own 23. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a toss left side. It's Williams.
136 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. The clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Ready? Close check.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their 1st time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Tua sets up to pass it. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And that one results in 35 yards. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a 2nd one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
I know we're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they're running what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Here's Allen. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. He's got room past the 30. And finally shoved out up past the 40-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 41 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Allen. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Allen. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. On the move past the 40. Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards.
And as you saw right there, this has got a pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Tapped forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Running left, here's Edmonds. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. On On third down, they run with Edmonds. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick here is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the fourth quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker.
And they will score a big 6 for a Bears touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch. This
is caught at the 20. A big play there for Detroit. 51 yards. First and goal. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers. No accusations. Because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And they'll stop it with 4 seconds showing on the clock. They run. It's Williams. And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a 2-point conversion to tie it.
We'll break down the touchdown later. It's 2-point conversion time. Go to your script, pick your play, and go for it.
One final try for Tagovailoa. That's caught. And he is in for 2 points. And barring some hijinks on the kickoff, we're going to be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind him in a big...
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Bears, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll hit the road next week.